First at 4, breaking news, new leadership for Detroit Police. Mayor Duggan says this interim chief has something probably no other chief in the country has. We're about to reach a vaccine turning point at Ford Field, but if you need a shot, you still have a few hours left. Here's Paula.
Nurses push back on the CDC, saying it is just way too soon to relax mask-wearing guidance. And they list the reasons why.
Well, with so much of the month, we were struggling to get to normal, and now records are in play for multiple days in the 7-day forecast. We'll tell you when to expect it right now, first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. In that breaking news, Detroit residents are getting their first look at the man who will lead Detroit Police Department when Chief James Craig retires. It's an interim appointment, but he's also in the mix to get the job for good. Let's get to Kimberly Gill. She is in the newsroom. And Kim, Mayor Duggan didn't have to look too far.
Good afternoon, Karen. Mayor Mike Duggan says he consulted with every member of the Detroit Police Commission, and one name kept coming up. There's just one problem, though. Their choice had recently left the Detroit Police Department to head the state Civil Rights Department under Governor Gretchen Whitmer. But the mayor was able to convince former Assistant Chief James E. White to leave that state job and return to the Detroit Police Department. Duggan says White has proven himself to be a capable leader during the COVID crisis, during last summer's police protests, and working to protect the constitutional rights of the city's residents. White is a Detroit native whose uncle was murdered back in the 1970s, and he says that experience has molded his approach to crime fighting, including seeking additional education.
I went to Central Michigan University and became a mental health counselor because of how I dealt with the loss and the tragic loss in my family, but also how I see the tragedy around our community and how people are struggling with trauma and the loss of people.
A police chief, and I'm quite certain that he will be the only police chief in America who's got a counseling master's, who's a licensed mental health therapist, because he sees people, the citizens who interact with, as needing help in ways more than law enforcement.
White will become the interim chief on June 1st when the current chief retires. Then White will compete against candidates from around the country to get the job on a permanent basis. We're gathering the first reactions to the appointment, and our coverage will continue tonight at 5. For now, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Sure. Michigan's COVID vaccination efforts are about to reach a turning point at Ford Field. The mass vaccination clinic will close at 8:30 this evening, but walk-ins are welcome. You can get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine or the first or second dose of the Pfizer shots. More than 270,000 doses have been administered at Ford Field over the last 8 weeks. Those receiving their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine today will be provided with information on where they can receive their second dose. President Joe Biden pushing more Americans to get vaccinated so that 70% have at least one shot by July 4th. Today, he says 7 states have already reached that threshold. The latest numbers show Michigan is hovering at 55.7%, but we're waiting for an update on that figure. The state is posting more than 2,200 new cases of the virus, but that's a 2-day total, so the number is still trending down. We did lose another 20 Michiganders to the virus in the past 2 days. Today, a judge has sentenced a Southfield man who pleaded guilty in the shooting of a 13-year-old boy. Earlier this year, Charles Phillips pleaded guilty to several charges, including assault with intent to murder. It was back in April of 2019. Phillips shot 13-year-old Demarion Johnson outside of a gas station in Detroit. The teenager survived, but his parents told the court today their son has suffered from permanent physical damage.
I want to know why, like what would make him just try to take the kid's life. Like Demarion has so much life in him, so much movement, he was promised to so much.
But I just want to say I'm sorry, and there's nothing I can do to bring him back. I mean, I'm lost for words myself, man. I'm just sorry.
Demarion's family pushed for Phillips to get life in prison with no parole. The judge sentenced him to 18 to 30 years. Watch out for presidential traffic delays tomorrow as President Joe Biden will be in town visiting the Ford Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. Air Force One will be arriving at Metro Airport before noon, and he'll be headed to the plant in Dearborn. The president is expected to make some remarks. You'll be able to see his speech at clickondetroit.com. His visit comes as the Biden administration makes a push for a $174 billion government boost for electric vehicles and charging stations. Well, he's the man at the center of the controversy surrounding the death of Joanne Matouk Romaine. And now, 11 years after her death, Joanne's cousin, Tim Matuk, is breaking his silence.
You know, this is just a pure and simple evil witch hunt.
Enough is enough. Tim Matuk says it's time to speak out on the death of his cousin and clear his name.
I felt like I was being maliciously prosecuted by them when they knew I was not anywhere near the church.
What happened at that Grosse Pointe Farms church 11 years ago? The last place Joanne Matuk Romaine was ever seen alive. Tim Matuk breaks his silence during my exclusive on Local 4 News at 6. And then we dig deeper into this case on Dateline Detroit, Secrets of a Small Town. Tonight at 10, we have new evidence not shared, new interviews, and exclusive information on this mystery. Dateline Detroit, tonight at 10. In the first forecast, we're starting a week-long warm-up, and it's going to start to feel a lot like summer. Ben Bailey standing by with a peek ahead. Hey, Ben.
Karen, I'll tell you, these temperatures today in the upper 70s, these are the coldest numbers that we've got going forward. They're in the mid-70s, though, right now. Tomorrow we'll hit 78, 74 right now in Detroit. Not much of a breeze, but you can see that wind is still coming out of the south, so that's going to help the cause. Just a gorgeous night all around. No humidity to speak of, very light winds. Temperatures falling through the 60s and eventually the 50s. But even though we're going to be above average for the first half of the week, once we get into the later part of the 7-day forecast, that's where the real summer-like numbers start to show up. We're talking potential records as well. The rain chances, well, we're not going to see a whole lot of them. We'll pinpoint the times where we do expect to get some rain along with some of those gorgeous numbers in just a few minutes. Carrie?
All right. Thank you, Ben. Now back to COVID-19 and a fast face mask policy switch that's still sinking in for millions of Americans. Some nursing organizations are going head-to-head with the CDC over the loosening of the requirements. Paula Topman tells us they're pushing back and calling for a course correction.
There are some adults who cannot get the COVID vaccine for medical reasons, including compromised immune systems. Children under 12 cannot get the COVID vaccine because the FDA has not extended the eligibility at that age. There are people who have fought tooth and nail not to wear masks under any circumstances, and those able to get the shot who simply choose not to. Yet, the CDC is pumping the brakes by suggesting a loosening of mask guidelines. In a statement this afternoon, massive pushback on the CDC by the Michigan Nurses Association, saying the CDC has acted hastily and prematurely to massively erode what we know to be measures that protect healthcare workers and our communities, mask wearing and social distancing. The stakes could not be higher at a time when the pandemic continues to claim lives every day. The CDC should reverse this dangerous decision immediately. For all of the work the CDC has done over the past year to get people to put masks on, it's now relying on the same people to use their best judgment and go by the honor system of only taking off the mask if they are vaccinated by relaxing mask wearing guidance.
And there is no mandate to take it off. What we're saying is now this is safe. Work at your own speed. Work with your own family and your own businesses to remove them when necessary.
National Nurses United, the nation's nurses union, says push pause on this one. With more than 6,000 people dying and more than 35,000 new detected infections reported in this country alone each day, a concern for variants, some unanswered questions about the vaccines. The CDC saying it would no longer track infections amongst fully vaccinated people and unaddressed aerosolization in the new guidance. Nurses on the front line have made it clear they believe the rollback of mask mandates and guidance in hopes that people will do the right thing to protect others is just too soon.
Walking down the street, you can't tell who is vaccinated and who isn't vaccinated.
We're worried about the fact that now we just came off a surge in Michigan. Our hospital systems are finally feeling like we can take a breath, and we feel like we're just not sure if it's too soon.
Okay, so both the Michigan Nurses Association and, again, the largest nurses union in the nation, which is the National Nurses United, say they have questions about relying on blanket wholesale protection of the vaccine as a sole strategy without the added layers of that masking. And as if we're not all confused enough, Karen, what they are demanding is that the CDC and President Biden reverse course, correct course immediately.
All right. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead, first at 4, it is the biggest challenge to Roe versus Wade in years. We're going to talk about the law at the center of the case and key changes on the Supreme Court. Also, for hours and the risk of dying. How long seems to be too long? And who's most at risk? A new global study might make you think twice about your work schedule.